First at 5:30, Maine may be joining Vermont, New York, and 2 other states in establishing a climate Superfund cost recovery program within the Maine DEP.
As CBS 13's Brad Rogers explains tonight, the goal here is to force the world's largest oil producers to pay for the impact of climate change.
This measure seeks to force the 90 or so biggest oil and gas producers in the world to pay for the climate change they allegedly help cause. But getting them to pay will be no easy task.
Climate change is a global problem, and we are experiencing damage from emissions outside of Maine and outside of the United States. And in our view, we need a way to pay for that damage.
Under the bill, only companies who've emitted more than 1 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions would pay for the damage from climate change.
The amount of their financial contribution will be determined in proportion to their share of global greenhouse gas emissions.
The sponsors are also seeking to make the law retroactive to the mid-1990s. State Chamber of Commerce opposes this.
Today's proposal imposes retroactive liability that contradicts principles of fair and predictable policymaking and penalizes businesses who have operated lawfully.
But others, including farmers, question why Mainers should have to pay for weather disasters caused by climate change, which they blame on fossil fuels.
It is absurd to ask us to find answers and pay for solutions when the industries behind the cause of climate disruption continue to receive federal subsidies and make record profits.
The Trump administration has already filed suits to stop states from holding fossil fuel companies accountable for climate change. The Department of Justice says it would threaten our country's economic and national security and would raise fuel prices.
Let's not kid ourselves. This ultimately will fall to the consumer, and it will ultimately affect the price that consumers pay for gasoline, for heating oils.
Maine would also have to prove these big oil companies operating legally in the United States, providing a commodity we all need, are also responsible for sea level rise, hurricanes, and other natural disasters, and to what degree. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News.